Welcome to the TMC with Zaheer. Today we are going to discuss about Cambridge IGCSE Maths Paper 0580, Paper 2, Variant 2. This paper is totally non-calculator and extended one, and this paper is from March 2025. So let's start the paper. So the very first question of the paper is number 1. Oranges cost 220 rupees per kg. Work out the cost of 9 kg of these oranges. So it's very easy, just have to multiply the cost of per kg with total number of oranges. So 220 times 9 is rupees 1980. Second one is Aryan goes on a journey. He leaves home at 11:40 and arrives at 14:18. Find how many hours and minutes the journey took. So what I suggest you to draw a straight line like this. It will be easy for you guys. So let's suppose this starting time is 11:40 and this ending time is 14:80. So to make it easy, start with the whole hours. Like if we add 20 over here, so we will get 12 o'clock, right? So you have to add 20 over here as well. So this will become 14:38. Now you can see that how many hours it took from 12 hours to 14:38. So the answer is 2 hours and 38 minutes. Now the third question is, a quadrilateral has one line of symmetry. The diagonals of the quadrilateral cross at right angles. Write down the mathematical name of the quadrilateral. So basically quadrilaterals are the shapes, are the polygons that have 4 sides, right? So there are different types of quadrilaterals: rectangle, square, trapezium, parallelogram, rhombus. But the one that is satisfying these two conditions, one line of symmetry and diagonals crosses at right angle, is known as kite. Because kite has only one line of symmetry. This is one line of symmetry and their diagonals intersects at 90 degree. Question number 4. Now the question number 4 is, we have a formula V is equals to 4 mp square, and in part A we have to find out V when m is equals to 10 and p is equals to minus 6. So you just have to replace the values. V is equals to 4 times 10 times minus 3 whole square. So 4 times 10 is 40 and negative 3 whole square is 9. 40 times 9 is 360. This is your answer. And second part, in B part, we have to find the positive value of p when V is equals to 3200 and m is equals to 2. So again you just have to put the values in the formula. 3200 equals to 4, m is 2 and p square. Now we know that 4 times 2 is 8 and 8 goes to the left side in the denominator. So 3200 divided by 8 equals to p square. 3200 divided by 8 is 400. And to remove square, we have to take square root on both sides. At the end, we will get p is equals to only positive 20. Square root of 400 is plus minus 20, but we will pick only positive value. So your answer is 20. Question number 5. Now the question number 5 says, write these lengths in order of sides, starting with the smallest one. So you have to arrange them from smallest to greatest, right? First of all, we have to, it's best that we will convert these values in same unit. I'm going to converting them in millimeters. So when you convert 0.03 meters into centimeter, we will multiply by 100, we will get 3 centimeter, and then multiply by 10 to get answer in millimeters. So it's 30 millimeter. 2.9 centimeter multiply by 10, we will get 29 millimeter. And this one is already in millimeter, so leave it. And the last one, first of all, we will multiply by 1000 to get answer in meters. Then multiply by 100 to get answer in centimeter. So we will get 2 centimeter. And at the end, we will multiply by 10. So we will get answer in millimeters. Now you guys have to see only these values, the one that are in millimeters, to compare them. Now the smallest one is 20 millimeter, but I'm going to write down the actual value that was given in the question. I'm going to write down 0.0002 kilometer. The second one is 29 millimeter, which is 2.9 centimeter. Third one is 30 millimeter, which is 0.03 meters. And the last one is 32 millimeter. Moving on. Now the question 6 says we have a quadrilateral which is basically a shape of trapezium, and we have to find out the area of trapezium. Now the formula for area of trapezium is A plus B sum of parallel sides times height divided by 2. So we are not going to write down the formula, we are just plugging the values. The parallel sides are, these two are parallel sides, 9 plus 15 multiply by height. The height means the distance between the two parallel sides is known as height, 8, and divided by 2. So if we solve it, we will get 96 as our final answer. Next one, question number 7. Write down the inequality for x represented on the number line. So you have to represent this inequality, this line as an inequality, right? So the numbers are -3 and 4, but this one is not filled and this one is filled. So it means we will use less than symbol over here, but over here we will use less than or equals to. It means the x is in between -3 and 4, but -3 is not included, but 4 is included. Moving on, the question number 8 is related to probability. Now, Priyanka plays a game in which she can win, lose, or draw. The table shows the probability of her winning or losing a game. The probability of winning a game is 0.3 and the probability of losing a game is 0.25. Complete the table. Means we have to tell them the probability of drawing. So what you just have to do, you have to subtract these two probabilities from 1. 1 minus 0.3 minus 0.25. So your answer would be 0.45. So you just have to complete the table. In the second part, Priyanka plays this game 120 times. Work out the expected number of games she wins. So you just have to multiply the total number of games with the winning probability. The winning probability is 0.3. So if we solve it, we will get 36 as our final answer. So it means out of 120 games, she would win in 36 games. Next one, question number 9. By writing each number correct to one significant figure, work out an estimate for D. Means we have to find out the estimate. We have to find out the value of D, but not the exact value. First of all, we have to convert each values in one significant figure. So 1.95 would become 2. 9.92 becomes 10. 8.07 becomes 8 and the whole square root. The power 2 would remain as it is. So if we solve it, 2 times 10 square is 100 over 8. 2 times 100 is 200 and 200 divided by 8 is 25 and the square root 25 is 5. So your answer is 5. Moving on. This one is important question. Now the question 10 says, we have 3 polygons, polygon A, B and C. 3 polygons A, B, C and C meet at a point, the interior angles of the polygons are in the ratio of A ratio B ratio C equals to 3 ratio 4 ratio 5. These are interior angles, by the way, A, B, C. Show that polygon C has twice the number of sides as polygon B. So it means we have to find out the number of sides in polygon C and polygon B, and the sides in polygon C must be twice as the number of sides in polygon B. So first of all, we will find out interior angles of B and C. Let's find out the first of all, let's do the question for in polygon B. We are going to find out interior angle of B. So the interior angle of B is small b. The ratio of B is 4. 4 out of total ratios. 3 plus 4 plus 5, that is 12. Times the angle at this point. The angle at this point is 360, because this 360 is distributed in 3 different ratios, right? Multiply by 360. So the interior angle of B is 120 degree. Now how can we find out exterior angle of B? It's very easy, because we know that interior angle and exterior angle are supplementary angles of each other. So in order to find exterior angle, we just have to subtract 120 from 180. 180 minus 120 is 60. Because we cannot find the number of sides with the help of interior angles only, we have to find out exterior angles. Now how can we find number of sides? To find out number of sides in polygon B, right? We are discussing about polygon B right now. As we know, the sum of all exterior angle is equals to 360 and one exterior angle is 60. So the answer is 6. It means there are 6 sides in polygon B. Let's see how many sides are in the polygon C. First of all, we are going to find out interior angle of C. Interior angle of C is small c. As you can see that the interior angle of C is small c. The ratio of small c is 5 out of 12 times 360. And you can see that the ratio of C is 5. So 5 out of 12 times 360 is 150 degree. So this is interior angle. Now we can find out exterior angle of C, because interior angle and exterior angle are supplementary of each other. So we just have to subtract 150 from 180, we'll get 30 degree. Now we can easily find out the number of sides of polygon C. Number of sides of polygon C, as we know that the sum of the all exterior angle is 360 and one exterior angle is 30. So 360 divided by 30 is 12. And you can see that number of sides in polygon C is twice as the number of sides in polygon B. So this implies that polygon C has twice the number of sides as polygon B. So this is your answer. This whole working is of 5 marks. In question number 11, we have a company sells items either on a website or in shops. The composite bar shows the percentage of sales on the website and in shops for January, February and March. So this one is representing sales on website, and this portion is representing sales in shops for each month, January, February and March. Now in April, the first part is in April, 17 out of 20 of the company's sale were on the website. On the grid, draw the bar for April. So for on grid, we have to represent the bars in the form of percentage. So it means we need to find out the percentage, right? So in order to find out the percentage of sales that were on the website, we have to convert this fraction into percentage. To convert it into percentage, we have to multiply it with 100%. So now if we solve it, we get 85%. So this means that 85% of the sales were on the website, and remaining 15% of the sales will be like through the shops. So now we have to draw a line till the top. Similarly over here, and we have to shade till 85%. So this is 85%. So we have to shade till over here. So this is the sales on website, and this portion represents sales in shops. In second part, in February, the company had sales of $3.5 million. Work out the value of sales in shops in February. So this is basically total sales. $3.5 million is total sales. Now the sale in shops in February is, you can see that the total percentage of sales in shops in February is from 60 to 100, it's 40%. So it means 40% of sales were through the shops. So it means we have to find out the 40% of total sales. 3.5 times 40%. So the answer would be 1.4. It means that sales through shops is $1.4 million. Easy. Moving on. In part C, in May, the company had sales of $6 million. In June, the company had sales of $7.5 million. Find the percentage increase. So percentage increase has a very simple basic formula. In numerator, we have to write down the difference. Like what is the difference in between these two sales, 6 and 7.5? 7.5 minus 6 is 1.5. And the numerator, we have to write down the sales of May, because we have to find out percentage increase from May to June. We will write down 6 over here. Now if we solve it, we'll get 25%. This is our answer. So it means 25% increase. We get a 25% increase in sales from May to June. Last part of this question number 11, part D. In 2024, the company had total sales of $52 million. This was an increase of 30% on the total sales for 2023. Work out the total sales in 2023. So this question is related to the reverse percentage. And in reverse percentage, what we have to do, I recommend to use the rates method. Write down sales on left side and percentage on the right side. We don't know what was the sale in 2023, so we will consider it as a variable. And the sales in the previous year is considered as 100%. Now in 2024, the sales are $52 million. And this was an increase of 30% of the total sales for 2023. So it means I'll get 130% over here. Now we have to do cross multiplication, and we can find out the value of x, the sales in 2023. So 130 times x is 130x, and 52 times 100 is 5200. X is equals to 5200 over 130. Now if we solve it, zeros we cancel out. 52 divided by 130, 13 is 40. So you got $40 million as your final answer. So this was the sales in 2023, and in 2024 the total sales are 52 million, which is an increase of 30%. Moving on. Question number 12. Write as a single fraction in its simplest form. So we have to represent these three different fractions in a single fraction, but should be in the simplest form. So first of all, if we want to add or subtract fractions, we have to make the denominator same. So I can see that these three denominators can be converted into 24, means their LCM is 24, right? So we will multiply the first fraction with 6. I'll get 6x over 24. The second fraction with 3, I'll get 9x over 24. And the third fraction with 2, I'll get 2x plus 4 over 24. Now, after getting this same denominator, I can add or subtract them. So, in denominator, I'll get 24. In the numerator, I'll get 6x plus 9x minus 2x and minus 4, because this negative sign changes the sign of these two terms. So, at the end, I'll get 6x plus 9x is 15x and 15x minus 2x is 13x. You don't need to do a lot of steps over here. So 13x minus 4 over 24. So this is our final answer, 13x minus 4 over 24. Second part. In second part, we have to factorize the given expression. So first of all, let's see, can we take commons and can we make the same brackets like the one that is given in the question? Yes, we can. If you can see the second last two terms, if we can take negative 4 as a common, negative y as a common, so we will get a plus 4y, and we are getting the same brackets. Now after that, we can take common these two brackets, and we will get 3x from over here and minus y from here. So this is our factorized form, a plus 4y times 3x minus y. This is only 1 marks question. Moving on. In question number 13, we have a cylinder. The diagram shows a cylinder with radius r centimeter and height 16 centimeter. A sphere has radius 3 centimeter. That is not drawn over here. The volume of cylinder is equals to the volume of sphere. Now the formula for volume of cylinder is pi r square h. And the formula for volume of sphere is 4 over 3 pi r cube. So we can cancel out these pi's, but we cannot cancel out r's, because this is the radius of cylinder and this is the radius of sphere. So these two are different things, keep it in mind. Now the value of r, value of the radius of cylinder is unknown, so we will keep it as it is. Height is 16, 4 over 3, and the radius of sphere is 3. Now if we solve it, r square is equals to 4, 3 cube is 27, 3 times 16, because 16 goes over here in the denominator. After simplifying this side, I'll get, I think, 9 over 4, yes. And if we want to find out r, we have to remove square by taking square root on both sides. So ultimately we will get the final answer 3 over 2. You can write on 3 over 2, or you can convert it into the decimals 1.5 as well, but do not need to go into the decimals. You can write down simplest form as an answer. So this is a 4 marks question, and that is your final answer. Moving on, circles. We have a circle. Over here we have 5 points A, B, C, D, E lie on a circle. If G is tangent to a circle at point C, and some of the angles are given. Angle BAD is equals to 110, angle ADB is equals to 20 degree, and angle BEC is equals to 45 degree. Now in the first part, we have to find angle BCD and give a geometrical reason for your answer. Angle BCD. So it means we have to find this angle. This is angle BCD. So now there are multiple properties, but if you can see this property, this is known as cyclic quadrilateral, because all of the 4 points around the bond around the circumference of the circle. So in that case, the sum of opposite angle is equals to 180. So it means if this is 110, then that would be 180 minus 110, 70 degree. So this whole angle would be 70 degree. So now what is the reason? The reason that we are going to write down over here, that sum of opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral is 180 degree. So that's why we got the values of angle BCD, which is 70 degree. In the second part, we have to find out angle DBC. This is of 2 marks also. Angle DBC, it means we have to find out this angle, the one that I'm going to highlight, this one. So we have a triangle, this one, in which one of the angle is given, which is 70. I know that this angle as well, this is 45 degree. The reason behind angle in a same segment, this is 45 and this one would also be a 45 degree. These two angles must be equal, angle in a same segment. So it means if we want to find out this angle, we would subtract 70 and 45 from 180. So we can get this angle. So let's see what is the answer. 180 minus 70 minus 45. So your answer would be 65 degree. It means this angle is 65 degree. As you can see, we're working over here. Now, in this next question, last part, I think, we have to find out DCG. Where is DCG? DCG. It means we have to find out this angle. And this part is very easy if you remember the properties of circles. Angle between the chord and a tangent is equals to the angle in the opposite segment. So it means this angle is equals to 65 degree. So you just have to memorize the properties. So it means this angle is also 65 degree. We are going to write down the answers directly because we don't need to show this working over here because this question is of only 1 marks. Moving on, we have a question related to vectors. We have a point A. Point A has a coordinates minus 4, 1 and BA, the vector BA is minus 5, minus 12. Find the coordinates of point B. So we will use the information BA. As we know, BA can be written as OA minus OB. So if we make OB as a subject, because we have to find out the point B, I'll get OA minus BA. Let's substitute the values of OA. OA is minus, the point A is minus 4, 1. So it will be written as column vector minus 4, 1. Minus BA is minus 5, minus 12. So minus 4 minus minus 5, it will be 1, and 1 minus minus 12 is 13. So this is OB vector, which can be written in the form of point 1 comma 13. So this is point B. Next part, point C has coordinates minus 5, minus 2. Find the vector CA. Again, we will use the actual meaning of CA, which is OA minus OC. Now we will put the values of OA. The OA is minus 4, 1, minus OC is 5 minus 2, 5 minus 2. Now if we solve it, minus 4 minus 5 is minus 9, 1 minus minus 2 is 3. So this is the column vector minus 9, 3. part C. In part C, we have to find out the magnitude of EF, right? And the given information is EF is equals to 3 times of BF. So in this question, we have two methods. First of all, we can find out the column vector of EF, like we can find out the vector EF, and then we will easily find out magnitude. And there is an alternative way. If this relation is given, EF is equals to 3 times of BA, it means EF is 3 times larger than BA. So we can also find out the magnitude of BA first and then multiply it with 3. So you can easily get the value of magnitude of EF. Let's see. So I'm going to find out the magnitude of BA. As we know that the BA is minus 5 minus 12. So for magnitude, I have to take square of minus 5 plus square of minus 12 and whole square. So this would be 25 plus 144, which is 169, and the square root of 169 is 13. Now, if you want to find out the magnitude of EF, we would just multiply 3 with 13 because EF is 3 times BA. So that is 39. This is your final answer. But if you will do the second method, like if you will find the vector EF first and then finding the magnitude, but it will be a little bit difficult for you because this paper is non-calculator, and in that case you will be getting very large values. It will be a little bit difficult for you to find out magnitude without using calculator. So I'll suggest use this method. Moving on, we have a question number 16, which is related to stem and leaf diagrams. Over here we have the stem and leaf diagram shows the mass of each of 13 packets, 31, 32, 38, and so on. 31 represent 31 grams. Work out the interquartile range. Now, how can we find out interquartile range? In order to find interquartile range, we will subtract lower quartile from upper quartile. Then we can find out interquartile. But how can we find upper quartile and lower quartile? Let's see. So upper quartile is 3 times n plus 1 over 4th term. What is the value of n? The value of n is 13. So if I put 13 over here, I'll get 3 times 14 over 4, which means 10.5th term. 10.5th term. We have that would be an upper quartile, right? So this is first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, and 11th. So it means 10.5th term would be over here in the middle of 51 and 52. So it means we have to find out the mean of 51 and 52, which is 51.5. This is upper quartile. Similarly, we have to find lower quartile. The formula for lower quartile is n plus 1 over 4th term or 4th value. N is 13. 13 plus 1 is 14 over 4. That is 3.5th value. Where is the 3.5th value? This is first, second, third, fourth. So it means it would be in the middle of 38 and 40. Again, we have to find out the mean of 38 and 40, or you can easily directly tell me as the value of 3.5th term, that is 39. Now, if you want to find out interquartile range, IQR, we have to subtract lower quartile from upper quartile, means 51.5 minus 39. And if I'm not wrong, this is 12.5. This is your interquartile range, 12.5. Moving on, we have to choose two of these packets are chosen at random. Find the probability that one packet has a mass of more than 50 grams and the other packet has a mass of less than 50 grams. So there are two possibilities. The first possibility is the first packet would be greater than 50 grams and the second packet is less than 50 grams. or the second possibility is the first packet is less than 50 grams and the second packet is greater than 50 grams. These two are possibilities. So what we have to do, we have to write down the probabilities of each thing. So let's say the first one is the greater than 50 and the second one is less than 50. If the greater than 50, how many are there that has a mass greater than 50? 1, 2, 3, 4. So the probability would be 4 over 13 times, because it is given that and we have to pick 2. The second one should be the less than 50 grams. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But we will write down 9 out of 12 instead of 9 out of 13, because we have to pick 2 packets. This is related to, this question is related to without replacement. It means if we pick first packet, then the number of packets, total number of packets will decrease by 1 value. And the second possibility is the first one is less than 50 grams, 9 out of 13 is the probability, and the second one is greater than 50 grams, 4 out of 12. Now we have to solve this thing in order to get our final answer. So if we solve the first expression, first two fractions, we will get 3 out of 13, and the second one is also 3 out of 13, and your final answer is 6 out of 13. This is your final required answer. Moving on. Question number 17. Work out 5 over 9 plus 0.28, and you can see that there is a dot written above 8. So this means it is recurring decimal. So first of all, I'll suggest to pick this decimal and convert it into fractions. Okay, and you can also do like, you can convert this into decimals and then add them and then convert your final answer in fraction, but the first method is more preferable. Now we will consider 0x, let's take a variable x as 0.28 dot. Now we wanted only recurring decimals after the decimal part. So we will multiply by 10 on both sides, 10x, and the right side we get 2.8 dot. And we can write it down like this, 2 plus 0.8 dot. And if we know that there is a shortcut, if we have a recurring decimals after a point, we have only a recurring decimals, so we can write it down in the form of fraction, the number that is repeating in the numerator, and we have to write down 9s in the denominator. 8 over 9. This can be written as 8 over 9 in the form of fraction. So now if we add them, I'll get 26 over 9, and this 10 goes in the denominator. I'll get 26 over 90. Now moving back to the question. The question was 5 over 9 plus 0.28 dot. 5 over 9 would remain as this, and 0.28 dot can be written as 26 over 90. If you want to add them, you have to make the denominator same. So first fraction would be multiplied with 10. 5 times 10 is 50, 9 times 10 is 90, plus 26 over 90. At the end you will get 76 over 90, and if you simplify it you will get 38 over 45. So this is your required final answer, 38 over 45. Moving on. Now question number 18, we have a quadrilateral ACDE is formed by two right angle triangles ABE and BCD. AC is equals to 17, AE is equals to 18, and BD is equals to 6 centimeter. Show that CD is equals to 10 centimeter. We have to show that this side should be 10 centimeter. So in this triangle, we only knows one side. If we can find out this side as well, we can easily find out CD by using a Pythagoras theorem. So in order to find this side, first of all, I'm going to find out this side AB, and then subtract AB from 17, I'll get BC. Let's see. Now I'm going to pick this right angle triangle one angle is given and the side opposite to 90-degree known as hypotenuse is also given. So in triangle ABE, I'm going to use cosine formula. Cos 60 is equals to base or adjacent AB over hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is 18. Now 18 goes to the left side. 18 times cos 60. Now you have to memorize these values of exact trigonometric values. Cos 60 is, by the way, 1 over 2. In that case, you can get the value of AB, which is equals to 9. AB is 9. So this implies that BC is equals to 17 minus 9, which is equals to 8. Now you can easily find out CD because this is 6 and this is 8. Now use the Pythagoras theorem. CD is, by the way, hypotenuse. So in triangle CDB, CD is equals to 6 square, opposite square plus adjacent square and whole square root. 6 square is 36, 8 square is 64, 36 plus 64 is 100 and the square root of 100 is 10. And you just show that CD is equals to 10 centimeter, and that is your final answer. Moving on, in part B, we have to find out the perimeter of the quadrilateral ACD and give your answer in the form of P plus K times square root of Q. Now, what is the perimeter? Perimeter is basically a boundary. So we have to add AE, AC, CD and DE, this one only. So these four sides. We know the value of AE, that is 18, the value of AC is 17 and the value of CD is 10. We just find out in the first part. Now we have to find out DE. For that, I'm going to find out BE and then subtract BD to get DE. I hope it's clear. Now, in order to find out BE, we have a right angle triangle over here. We can use trigonometric ratios like sine or tan. We can also use Pythagoras theorem because we know the value of AB. The value of AB is 9. But it might, now it depends on you guys, like which one is easy method for you. It's up to you, like which method you want to use. I'm going to use the sine formula in triangle ABE. Sine 60 is equals to opposite is BE and over hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is 18. So BE over 18, and you get 18 times sine 60 equals to BE. Now sine 60 is under 3 by 2. You have to memorize these values. So you will get 9 times square root of 3 is BE. But to find out perimeter, we need DE, not BE. We only need DE. So this BE is 9 under 3 and this DB is 6. So in order to find DE, we would subtract 6 from 9 under 3. So you will get 9 under 3 minus 6. So this is the value of DE. Now let's find out the perimeter. For perimeter, we have to add all of these four sides. Like we have to add 18, 17, 10 and this DE, which is 9 under 3 minus 6, and CD is 10. We have to add these four values: 18, 17, 10, 9 under 3 minus 6. 18, 17, 10, 9 under 3 minus 6. So if we simplify it, we will get the final answer would be 39 plus 9 under 3. So this is your final answer. That is exactly in this form. You can see that the forms are same. as required in the question. Moving on, question number 19, that is related to sets. In the Venn diagram, shade the region A union B union C whole complement. So it's very easy. The A union B union C whole complement means, first of all, we have to take union of all of these three sets, and then complement means we have to ignore this union. So the answer would be the outer portion. This is your answer, this whole outer portion, instead of A, B and C. So that's it. So this is your answer. Moving on. Question number 20. Simplify square root of 300 and plus square root of 48. So it is related to surds. So square root of 300 can be written as 100 times 3, and square root of 48 can be written as 16 times 3. Like we convert it into the product of perfect squares. 100 square root is 10 and 3 would remain over here. 16 square root is 4 and under 3 would remain as it is. And 10 under 3 plus 4 under 3 is 14 under 3. So that is your answer, 14 under 3. Second part, rationalize the denominator and simplify. In rationalization, we have to multiply with the conjugate of denominator. Like we have to multiply by 2 minus under root 7 over 2 minus under root 7 in the numerator and in the denominator. In the numerator, I'll get 9 times 2 minus under root 7. Do not multiply in the numerator right now. In the denominator, I'll use the identity a plus b and a minus b. That would be equals to a square minus b square. So I'll get 2 square minus under root 7 whole square. The numerator would remain as it is. Do not multiply it right now. In the denominator, 2 square is 4. And over here, square will be cancelled out. You will get 7. And then 9 times 2 minus under root 7 over 4 minus 7 is negative 3. And you can now cancel out 3 1s are, 3 3s are. And next, you will get 3 times 2 minus under root 7 over negative 1. You can write it down like this, minus 3 times 2 minus under root 7. You can leave your answer like this as well, or you can do multiplication, minus 6 plus 3 under root 7. These both are correct answers. So I'm going to write down the second one, minus 6 plus 3 under root 7. So this is your final answer. Moving on to question number 21. Write down the coordinates of the point where the graph of y is equals to 5x minus 3 crosses the y-axis. This is linear equation, by the way. Crosses the y-axis. At y-axis, we know that the value of x is 0. So we have to put x is equals to 0, negative 3, and you would get minus 3. So x is 0 and y is negative 3. In the second part, we have two points. A is the point 17 and B is the point 515. Find the equation of perpendicular bisector of line AB. In order to find perpendicular bisector, equation of perpendicular bisector, we need a midpoint of AB, and we need to find the gradient of AB, and then change, and after that we have to take the reciprocal. Like we have to use this formula, because we want to find the equation of perpendicular bisector of AB, right? So let's find out the midpoint first of all. Midpoint of AB, that is 1 plus 5 over 2, that is 3, and 7 plus 15 divided by 2, that is 11. So this is the midpoint of AB. Now let's find out the gradient of AB. y2 minus y1, 15 minus 7 over x2 minus x1, 5 minus 1. So 8 over 4 equals to 2. So this implies that we are going to use the midpoint 311. We are going to use this point, and we are going to use the reciprocal of the gradient, and we have to change the sign, 1 over 2 and minus 1, because we want to find the equation of perpendicular bisector. And if we want to find the equation, we need 1 point and 1 gradient, or we need 2 points. So we got 1 point and 1 gradient. Now I'm going to use the formula. The one that I'm going to use is y minus y1 equals to m times x minus x1. Now I'll give you the answer in the form of y is equals to mx plus c. Now let's see. y1 is 11, m is minus 1 over 2, x minus x1 is 3. This is x1, y1. Keep it in mind that we cannot use these 2 points because the perpendicular bisector doesn't pass through point A and B. It will pass through the midpoint of A and B. So I'll get minus 1 over 2 multiplied by x is minus x over 2. Minus 1 over 2 multiplied by minus 3 is plus 3 by 2. And this 11 goes to the right side. Minus 11 becomes plus 11. Because we have to make y as a subject, as you can see the answer space as well. So minus x over 2 as it is. Now if we add them, 3 over 2 plus 11, you will get 25 over 2. So this is your answer. Y is equals to minus x over 2 plus 25 over 2. That is your final answer. Moving on. Question number 22. We have a curve. A curve has equation y is equals to x cube plus x square minus x. The curve has a stationary point at 1, 3 and minus 5, 27. Find the coordinates of the other stationary points. At stationary points, the derivative is equals to 0. We know that. So first of all, we have to take derivative of this equation. Let's find out the derivative. Dy by dx is equals to 3x square plus 2x minus 1. I just took the derivative. Now we know that if we want to find stationary point, we have to put dy by dx is equals to 0 because at stationary points, at turning points, the derivative is 0. 3x square plus 2x minus 1. Because we are going to find out the other stationary point. First of all, we need the coordinates of x. So this is the process. Now we would use the factorization method, or you can use quadratic formula as well because this is quadratic equation. It's up to you. So 3x square, or I recommend like you use quadratic formula in paper 4 and factorization in paper 2. So 3x minus x minus 1. We are just doing midterm breaks. The first two we are getting 3x as a common. I'll get x plus 1. In the last two I'm getting minus 1 as a common. I'll get x plus 1. X plus 1 would be common and we will get 3x minus 1. Now if we solve it, like x plus 1 equals to 0 or 3x minus 1 equals to 0. Over here I will get 1 over 3 and the second value is minus 1. So this was the given in the question. You can see that this stationary point has 1 over 3 as a x coordinate. So it means we have to use this other value. We have to use this value. So now to find out the coordinates of the stationary points, we have to use the main equation and we have to put the value of 1, the value of x, that is minus 1. So if we solve it, we'll get minus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So the answer would be 1. So the value of y is 1. So what is the other stationary point? Minus 1 comma 1. This is the other stationary point. One of the stationary point was given in the question and this one is the second stationary point. One of them was given in the question and this one is the other stationary point. It means at these 2 points, the gradient would be 0. Now, we have to move on second part. The second part is by sketching the graph of x cube plus x square minus x, determine whether the stationary point, this one, is a maximum point or minimum point. So we know that there are two x-intercepts, like the maximum and minimum points are at minus 1. These two are stationary points, right? These two are stationary point. The x coordinate of this stationary point is -1 and the x coordinate of this stationary point is 1 over 3. And we should know that like what will be the shape of this equation. As the coefficient of x cube is positive 1, so the graph will go like this. And it will pass through the origin because there is no constant term in this equation. So the graph of this function would be like, would be like this. Now, these two are stationary points. If you know that these two are stationary points, let me highlight it. These two. This has a negative x coordinate and this has a positive x coordinate. It means this is -1 and this is 1/3. What does that mean? That this stationary point has a coordinate -1, 1, and this stationary point has a coordinate 1, 3, -5, 27. And this also means that this y-axis, at y-axis this is 1 and this is -5/27. By the way, you don't have to label these values, you just have to draw a graph and then you have to predict the like you have to tell that whether this point is maximum point or minimum point. So we know that this point is over here and this is minimum point, not maximum. So this one is minimum point. Moving on, the equation this equals to k has fewer than 3 solutions. It means they wrote down k instead of y, right? So it means we have to see, like, if we draw a line y is equals to k should be a number, right? That line must be a horizontal line and we need fewer than 3 solutions. It means that line should intersect the curve at less than 3 points. If we draw a line in between these two values, the line would intersect the graph at 3 points, anywhere in between these two values. Like if we draw a line over here, the line would intersect the graph at 3 points. If we draw a line over here, the line would intersect the graph at 3 points, but we need fewer than 3 solutions. It means we have to draw the line at x is equals to 1 or greater than x is equals to 1, or we have to draw the line at k is equals to -5/27 or less than -5/27. So the answer would be k greater than equals to 1 or k less than or equals to -5/27. It means we can draw graph below -5/27 or at -5/27, or we can draw a graph at 1 or greater than 1. We cannot draw line over here. So it means the value of k cannot be over here, because if the value of k is in between 1 and -5/27, so the equation becomes y is equals to k and the k is in between these two values. It means we have to draw a straight line in between these two values that would intersect the curve at 3 different points, which is not possible because they said we need fewer than 3 solutions. So that is your answer. Moving on, last question, I think. Question number 23, simplify. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write down x square as it is, and 2 4 can be written as 2 square whole raised to the power 3/2, and now power would be multiplied with both numerator's power and denominator's power. So you will get x raised to the power 3 and 2 raised to the power 3. X raised to the power 3 would remain as it is and 2 raised to the power 3 is 8. So the answer is x raised to the power 3/8. That is your answer. Last part. The last part is 16 raised to the power x times 1/2 raised to the power x equals to 4 raised to the power x plus 3. We have to find out the value of x. So we need to use this identity, a raised to the power m equals to a raised to the power n. This means m is equals to n. We need to make the bases same on the both sides. So let's see. 16 can be written as a power of 2, like 2 raised to the power 4. And if we change 1 over 2 as 2, like if we take the reciprocal, the power sign of the power would change. That is the basic shortcut way. And 4 can be written as 2 raised to the power 2 times x plus 3. Now we multiply the power with power. 4 times x is 4x times 2 raised to the power minus x equals to 2 raised to the power 2x plus 6. At the end, the bases are same. On the left side, we will add, like subtract or add the powers. On the right hand side, it will remain as it is. On the left hand side, we will get 2 raised to the power 3x equals to 2 raised to the power 2x plus 6. Now this implies that now the bases are same. It means 3x is equals to 2x plus 6. And 2x will go to the left side. I'll get x is equals to 6. This is my final answer. X is equals to 6. That was the whole paper, and I hope you like the video. If you like the video, do not forget to subscribe and like. And if you have any queries, do write down in the comment. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.